All right, today, Algebra 1, we're talking about translating between words and inequalities. How can we get words to be inequalities? So these are our goals for today, is trying to figure this stuff out. Hopefully we know what an inequality is, right? It's not just an equal sign. We're saying that two things are not equal, right? Something is greater than something else. Something is less than something else. Does that make sense? Okay. It's a mathematical statement comparing quantities that are in fact not equal. They might be equal, right? We can say greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So to translate between words and symbolic forms of inequalities, it helps to be familiar with the meaning of those terms and symbols. Math, just like anything else, success is based upon understanding the vocabulary, right? We have vocabulary terms in math all the time. Usually they're bolded, those types of things. At the beginning of the year, we did a lot of Quizlet stuff where we were just trying to learn what the terms meant. Hopefully, we don't need as much of that. Inequalities are used to solve a variety of real-world problems because, listen, in the real world, things are very rarely equal, right? A lot of things are not equal. Okay. First, determine the unknown. And the inequality symbol needed, then we translate the words into symbols, and then we solve the inequality. And that's basically it in terms of the notes that they give you. So from this point on, it's working out some questions. All right. So we want to translate this sentence into an inequality. A number, x, plus 12 is less than 13. Okay? A number x plus 12 is less than 13. What are we going to start with? What's the first thing that you were introduced to in that sentence? You were first introduced to x, and then we saw the word plus. So what kind of symbol is that? An addition sign. So x plus, what are we adding to x? 12. And what is the relationship between that and 13? It's less than. So in terms of that symbol pointing in a direction, which direction is it going to point? It's going to point to the left towards the x plus 12 because x plus 12 is less than 13. 13 is greater than x plus 12. Which answer fits here? D, and this probably still won't let me write. Nope, still won't let me write on it. Yeah, okay. We're living in this world today. All right. All right, here we have an inequality, and we want to write this as a sentence. Keep the other one in mind. All right. Now, you can see from the examples that we're not actually referring to x as x in this case. We're referring to x as a number. Okay? Meaning that we could use any variable besides x, but in this case we have x. So a number what? Minus, all right, because we saw a subtraction symbol. Does that work for us? Everybody agrees with that? Okay, x minus, what are we minusing? 5. All right, x minus 5, is it equal to, is it less than, is it greater than? It's less than, so x minus 5 is less than what? 8. Does this seem really, really easy? Awesome. It doesn't always feel good when you run across something that's really, really easy. Okay, all right, now let's see if it gets any harder. Okay, Ralph is arranging a wedding reception. Way to go, Ralph. He can spend no more than $8,000. So this provides a situation, all right? Our equation, whatever we come up with, is it going to be greater than $8,000? No, it has to then be what? Less than $8,000. Could it be equal to $8,000? All right, so we already know that we should be looking for something that's going to have 8,000 on one side, and what is my inequality symbol going to be? Less than or equal to $8,000. Okay, that already helps me out, right? Because I could, if on a multiple choice test, I could already narrow this down, right? This gives me down to a 50-50 option, correct? Right? Which two options would work just based upon what little information we've already covered? A and D, right? That's helpful. Okay, it costs $6,000 to rent the hall. It costs $25 to feed each guest. Okay, so $6,000, is that an upfront charge? Sure. Okay? We can't do anything about that. It's just $6,000. How much money am I left with? $2,000, right? Because we have a total of $8,000 that we can spend. We don't have to spend all of it, but we can only spend up to that. That's our max dollar amount. So we have $2,000 left. It costs $25 to feed each person, right? Okay? So 20, so the only thing that can change now is how many people we invite to the wedding, correct? How do we represent that? 25G. What does the G represent? Guests. Okay. So are we going to subtract that 25G from the 6,000? Well, what are we going to do to it? It's going to add to the 8,000 because every person that comes is $25 more that's coming, that's being added to our expense. Does that make sense? Okay. So Ralph needs to know how many guests at most can attend the reception. We want to write an inequality. All right, with the information that we have, do we understand where the answer is? Where is it? D, okay? We've got $25 per guest plus the $6,000 it costs to rent the place, and we have to stay at or under $8,000. This is a very, very applicable situation. You will run into this kind of stuff all the time, right? And in reality, weddings are essentially this. Okay, except more complex. Okay? All right. Let's see. Do we want to try to look at, because you guys are out here at what, 40, is it 48? 48. All right. 48. Let's look at one more from here. And do you want to do another word problem, or do you want to come down here and do some of these others? Word problems, because word problems are tough, right? Do we want to do Ron or the Ortiz family? What do you think? I heard one Ron, one Ortiz. Raise your hands. How many Ron? 1, 2 for Ron. How many for Ortiz? All right, Ortiz family wins. The Ortiz family is renting a hotel room for 5 days. They can spend $755 at most. Does this seem familiar to our last question that we looked at? All right, so tell me about this $755 at most. In terms of this equation, where's $755 going to go? Is it going to go with all of our information, or is it going to be on the opposite end of our equation? Opposite end. All right, our inequality symbol. Greater than 755, less than 755, greater than or equal to 755, or less than or equal to 755? Less than or equal to 755. We can spend that. That's how much we've got in our wallet. This, granted, it's a little bit different in the day and age that you live in, but, imagine that you're going to the mall and your parents give you some money to spend, right? And you go and you start looking at what it is that you want to buy. This is the inequality that you're working with. You don't have to buy anything, but at most you can spend up to the money that they've handed you. Is that correct? Okay. All right. There is a service fee of $30. This is a lot like our $6,000 hall rental thing, right? It's standard. It is what it is. It doesn't move, doesn't change. Okay. How many dollars can they spend at most on the per day rental fee, including the $30 service fee? Let's see. What was the rental fee? Did I miss that? There's a service fee of $30. How many dollars? It doesn't seem to say. That seems odd. No. Well, they're renting a hotel room. Okay. Yeah, you'd be right. Let's see. How many dollars can they spend at most? Okay, so let's. You guys have that information. Let's go ahead and pull up our page over here. We have 5 days. There's a $30 fee. We have $755 in our wallet. Okay, so we know 755 is, and we want to be less than or equal to this, right? Okay, so we have 5R plus 30, right? And we should be able to figure out how much we can afford to spend on a hotel room, correct? What are we going to do first? Subtract 30 from the 755. Okay, so it gives me 5R is less than or equal to 725. Okay, what do we want to do next? Divide by 5 on both sides. Sounds good to me. All right. What's 725 divided by 5? Abby? Mm-hmm. Okay, 147. Oh, 145. Okay, 145. Okay, so we can spend at most, right? We want our rental fee to be less than or equal to $145. Okay, let's kind of scoot back over. Where's my page? Here. Let's see what that answer actually came out to. Were we at all correct? Ortiz family? 5. Question number 5. $145. Okay, very good. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to try to work out a question that's in our homework? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Pick one out. I know you guys are probably going to pick out I, so I'm going to make you guys do I on your own. I want you to pick out something else. You guys want to try some of these where you'd have to write a sentence? No? No, you think you got the sentences down? So far, your sentences that you've had to do are pretty easy, though. How would you go about writing something? Okay, Christian, you feel pretty confident. How would you go about writing something like E? Yeah, how would you write E? 12. All right, so I'm writing, I got 12. Let's not use the word times. Okay. 12 product. How about 12 and the product? Abby, you got a question? Or you want to? Okay, I'm going to let him finish this one. I might let you do another one. 12 and the product of notice that they're using, instead of a variable number, what they're saying, an unknown number. Could we say an unknown number and actually kind of beef up? Or of an unknown, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, 12 and the product of an unknown number, what? Is, okay? Greater or less than? Greater than or equal to? You said -8? Okay, that's pretty good. Not too bad. All right, but you want to use those math terms, so not at, I mean, you want to see things like sum, difference, product, quotient. Those are better words than add, subtract, multiply, divide. Those are your basic words, but you really want to beef up some of your language skills, right? Product, quotient, okay, sum and difference. All right, somebody want to try a different one? Abby, you had your hand raised. You want to try one? No? Okay. Do we want to look at another one? Do you want to look at a translate into an inequality portion like A through D? Yeah? Okay, Blayton, pick one out. That'd be good. How about when you do, let's do C. C. Or borrow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got it. Okay. Okay, go ahead and read it out to me. Okay, so stop right there. The sum. Okay, so what? How would I represent half a number? 1/2. But notice how they're using a number to represent a given variable, right? So 1/2 what? 1/2 x. Okay. So something like this, or you could do like even x over 2, right? Okay. Either one. Okay. Half a number. Okay. And it says the sum of half a number, right? So what's happening? What am I going to be doing with this half a number? I'm going to be adding something to it. Okay. Okay. The sum of half a number and 3. So what am I adding to half a number? 3. And does not equal. Well, how do I represent that? Equal with a slash through it. What does it not equal? 15. All right, very good. That'll work. We feel like we've got an understanding of most of these now? Okay. All right. I'm going to stop this, let you guys work.